All right, so we got the Philadelphia, we call it the Philly car here in the shop. It's on the lift right now. It's getting ready to get the rear end done. We're doing 410 gears or 411s, Eaton posi, a Yukon posi, and completely rebuild the rear end. I'm not doing it. I have a guy, a friend of mine, his dad's been doing it for like 50 years. So he's got like a work truck. He's already done that car, the LS car. The one we put the radiator in and I made the video on. So he just finished that one. It already had gears and a posi, but it was leaking really bad. So he fixed it, re-shimmed it, made sure everything was how it was supposed to be. He showed me where it was off. So we're doing a full posi and everything on this one. But I'm gonna make a video on doing the Walboro 255 pump and retrofitting it to work in this car. So in my current car, I have an AEM 380 liter per hour pump, and it's basically the same process. You can modify the Walboro 255 to work in the B-body tank. You don't need it. That car has a stock pump, and that's a Cam 6.0. But this one, it's having some issues starting. When you go to start it, sometimes it won't start. You got to prime it. But once it gets up and going, it's fine. So that's usually the check valve in the pump has gone bad, so it's not keeping the fuel at the top. So the fix for that is just changing the pump. And I figure, you know what? While we're in there, instead of putting a stock one back in there, we're gonna put a Walboro 255. So normally I can take the old pump assembly out, modify it, and make it work. But if that sending unit is shot or there's any issues with it, I bought another one, a brand new pump. This is the pump that I use. You can get it from AutoZone. I put this pump in probably 30 different Impalas. That's the same pump I had in mind for years before I LS swapped it. And that pump, I've did many swaps using that pump, and there's the part number. So you don't have to go fancy. I'm just doing the Walboro 255 because I wanted to make a video on it. And I was like, you know what, since we got to put a pump in it anyway, let's do something different. So I unplugged the pump at the bottom. A good way to get the remaining fuel out. I'll show you what to do. So there's a couple ways you can do it. You can come to the Schrader valve up here and purge it up here, but then you risk fuel going everywhere. You can unplug the relay and start the car, and it'll drain the remaining fuel. What I'm doing, and I normally do it this way, since I'm dropping the tank anyway, I gotta unhook the pump. I just unplugged it from the bottom. We'll start it up, it'll run for a little bit, and then it'll shut off, and then we'll know the line is clear and it's not gonna spray fuel all over us. It'll run for a second. It'll shut off. All right, now we know it's out of fuel. So that's it. So now there's no fuel left in the line. We'll have to disconnect this up here. So you got two 10 millimeters. I like to take the cap off, relieve the pressure. You got two 10 millimeters there, and this car is an up north car, so it's really rusty. So I'm hoping I don't have any issues with these tank straps, but we will see. I can already see the heat shield shaking down there. So as a matter of fact, before I do that, let me loosen these two bolts. All right, so this is the plug I was talking about. So I was kind of examining this plug. That kind of tells me if the pump's been changed or if it's the original one. So the wires look kind of clean, so I imagine at some point it was changed. But yeah, that's not supposed to be like that. That's not supposed to be like that. Those are the bolts we're after right there. 1 and 2. Ooh, that does not look like it's gonna be fun. But it's fine, we'll fight with it. I remember Troy had asked me what converter is in it. And so this is your 4L80 BRP cross member. That's a rusty unit. I'm gonna assume that's a stock converter. I don't think it's got an aftermarket converter in here. So that could be part of the sluggishness. Looks like he's got some leakage under here we'll have to address. Power steering pump, so that's pretty normal. We'll get that situated. It's actually my first time being under here in a long time. Joe did a lot of the work on this one. After I had started it, he kind of finished it off. So yeah, we gotta address that, the leak. And Yeah, I got to call Troy about this converter. This is, yeah, this definitely looks like a stock converter, as rusty as it is. So we may want to go aftermarket and see if that helps with how sluggish it is. And looks like they've got Dirty Dingo mounts in it. So for all those asking if Dirty Dingos will fit, they will. This car has Dirty Dingo mounts. Those are the slider mounts. I usually see those on the OBS trucks. That's what I use when I swap those. It's got a nice X-pipe, nice 2.5-inch exhaust, and then probably gonna need some mufflers. These are pipes mufflers, and so we did all this. We redid all the fuel line on it because it was pretty bad the way they had it set up. So, story behind this car: somebody had already swapped it before it came to me. It didn't run well. It had a trash harness in it. It started, but it didn't run, and it just wasn't done right. So first thing I did, I put a harness in it. So we got a current performance harness in it. The computer was no good that he had in there, so we got a new computer, got it tuned right. Redid the fuel system because they had the fuel regulator like under the hood, and that's never good. But we got it cleaned up. So even I talked to the customer earlier today, and I sent him a quick video of the inside, and he can hear the car, from the inside. He was super happy with it. So I know he's watching this video because it's about his car. So sorry, I'm just cleaning up. Stuff on the floor really irks me. And so he got a good idea how good this thing sounds. So I'll call him about the converter, and let me try to tackle these straps. I'm gonna hit it with some PB Blast, and hopefully it doesn't fight me too bad. Man, this thing is... Andy's gonna love this. Andy's the guy that's doing the gears for me. Oh, ooh, she's crusty. Yeah, this thing rides good though. But I think actually we got a little bit more clearance on this one than we did on the other one. But once I pull the tank out, we'll have plenty of room. So looks like somebody's done some repairs. The brake line, not uncommon to see on up north cars. But all right, let me get this tank out. I'll show you what I do. I normally get these two bolts here, that bolt and that bolt, and then I lower the straps this way and then drop the tank out. You just got to remember to hit these two bolts up here so this is loose before you take it down, and then you got to hit the oh, somebody's out there acting crazy. Let's see. Use the camera's light. Hit that one there. We'll let that soak for a little bit. All right, let me get to work. All right, got the tank out. That was fun. The rust definitely did not help with these straps, but it's okay. Yeah, make it a little brighter. There we go. We got them out. So yeah, this one's stripped, that one's stripped. This one's pretty much almost broken, so probably gonna find some new straps for this thing. Hit up Ivan, and yeah, we're gonna need to get some new straps because yeah, this is not gonna work. So luckily though, these bolts came through just fine. Oh, the light died. These bolts came out just fine. No problems there. But yeah, we're gonna have to get some new straps. So the pump looks fairly new. So we'll pull it out and see how it looks, and I'll clean. Well, I like to clean the top of the tank first. My hose is a short one now, so I'm gonna put it over there by the drain, and I'll try to clean this up as much as I can before I pull it out. All right, so I'm filming now. You can talk. They're still there working on the rear end. So this is the Walboro 255. So now it's TI Automotive. There's a lot of Chinese knockoffs out there, so you got to make sure you get an actual one. The part number is the same from what I can see from the old Walboros. GS343G3. So this is a 255. Comes with the pump. Comes with the hose, the O-ring, everything to kind of make it work. Maybe some splicing involved. So this is the pump, and this is not original. So because this is not come on the original pumps, and I think this is why this thing is having problems. And the sock looks saturated. So I'm gonna tear this thing apart, and we'll put this one in here. And this one, because it's about the same size, this one should be pretty simple to install. All right, so I already started taking this thing apart because the GoPro died. So I didn't want to get too far. Let's see how much battery we got. 52%, so about 10 minutes. All right, so far, I've taken the filter off. We took the top hat off of the pump, just flathead screwdriver. So this is the harness that comes with the Walboro, and it actually fits into the factory clip like that, and then this adapts to plug in here like this. So that'll plug right in. No cutting, no splicing, nothing like that. Pull this cap off, and so normally this will sit on top of here, but we don't need this because it's not gonna go all the way down because this is in the way. So that's why you got this hose. Where is it? You got this hose, and make sure you use this hose. It's super thick. In my car, I had to use just some regular fuel hose that I had, and it kept splitting, and I kept having to drop the tank and do this over and over again. So I learned my lesson to use the hose that comes with it. Now there's a couple different ways you can do this. Put this on first, and then you can actually pull this pin out, and it'll allow this whole assembly to come up, and then you can set it down on top. That's probably the easiest way. So what I do, put this on like here. You just want to get that down as far as you can get it. Put a hose clamp on it here. I really don't like using this. I like using the wrench. Oh, it's a quarter. There we go. Let's get it tighter. So that's not going anywhere. So what we can do, push this down, pull this pin out, like this, like that, pull that out, and then set this down in here. Take this out. Take this thing out. Get the one that comes with the Walboro. You can see it's very similar. This one's going in there, like that. And then you want to cut this to where this will fit. Where's the hole? The hole's there. So we see we got to kind of cut it about here. Let me grab something to cut that with. Alright, so like I said, we want to look to see how much you gotta, so it's gonna stop about there. So we wanna cut it probably around here. Let's say about here. That way you get as much hose up at the top as possible. And if we gotta cut, we gotta cut. Boom. That's how we got it oriented, which I think is fine. May have to spin it. Let's see if we spin it. Oh, that's better. Yeah, we'll spin it. So. And then now we just put the fuel stuff at the bottom. The new you'll have to look at your orientation when you drop this in the tank to make sure this doesn't bind up on the side, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. We get the pump situated. You gotta remember the orientation. Harness goes to the back, lines go to the front. Just gotta look in there and make sure, yep, when it sits in there, it'll sit flush for the most part. Get the sending unit in first, and then you can just drop the rest of it in. Boom, and that's it. O-ring looks good. Looks like it's been changed recently. I think the O-ring that comes with this kit is too small, so I probably wouldn't use that. Just put the ring around it. You gotta get it through the harness. Just to get it to stay on. Boom. Boom. Have to hit up Impala SS parts and see if I can get some tank straps. I might be able to work with those, but I don't know. We'll see. But I wanted to at least get this done and sealed up, so it's not just hanging here with an open tank. And I want to get this video done so that I can post it. I haven't posted a video in a few days, so make sure I get a video. Cross. Do it in the cross pattern. There, so that's it. That is how you make a Walboro 255 work in a B-body tank. I don't know if it's gonna work yet. I mean, it should. I don't see why not. I mean, we could test it. We could hook up a battery to this and give it power and see what happens. As a matter of fact, ooh-wee. So we got fuel. So that's it. So we know it works. We'll get it in the car, get it plugged up. All right. So as you see, it works. We got fuel pressure. I don't know how much fuel pressure, but it's definitely coming out pretty hard. So I will end the video here. I'll make another video once we get the new straps and get all the rear end stuff done on this car. We got some other stuff we got to do to it. I sent the customer pictures and videos under there. We're going to put a torque converter in it because it looks like a rusty old stock 480 converter like that one that just wasn't painted, and it looks really old and crappy. So we're going to get them a Circle D or a probably Circle D, because that's what I run. I got a Circle D sitting under there. So we'll get them a Circle D stall for this thing. We'll go to Ivan, get some new tank straps because these are done. We'll get tank shields, so that's nice and clean. We'll put the tank back in. All right, y'all. So that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I appreciate everybody's input on the wagon video. Still haven't messed with it. It's still sitting there. I'll get to it eventually. Just sometimes you got to walk away from that stuff. The plan of action with that car is I'm going to put it in the garage, I'm going to put it in the air, and I'm going to pull the harness out of it and just go through the harness, because I'm thinking of something in the engine harness to the computer or something. I noticed the harness on the right side, passenger side, where it's supposed to go in that little groove where the transmission dipstick is. It was off of that and kind of laying on the header. It's got heat shielding on it, but I think that might have something to do with it. So I'm just going to pull the whole thing out and go through it. But until then, I will see y'all in the next one.